Welcome back to ICE 365 Live, the only place for exclusive access to the show floor here at ICE London. I am Katie Goldfinch, and after bringing you some exclusive insights on the state of the global gaming industry this morning, we're focusing on North America for the afternoon's broadcast. Over the next 2 hours, I'll be joined by some up-and-comers, as well as some established names in one of the major growth markets for gambling. This year marks the 5th anniversary of the Professional and Amateur Sports Protection Act, or PASPA, being repealed. That day in May 2018 has changed the US industry completely, with sports betting now legal in 33 states. While full-year figures for 2022 will only be available next week, the American Gaming Association reported a record-breaking third quarter for the year, with revenue across all commercial gaming products and channels hitting $14.81 billion over that 3-month period. That has created plenty of opportunities for established and emerging businesses, and we're going to be welcoming some of the people responsible for shaping and reshaping this market. We kick off with a company that's bringing a whole new way of betting to the US. Founded in April 2018, Simplebet is a pioneer of micro-betting, founded by industry veterans and upstarts to pioneer a new model of play, where every moment of every sporting event becomes a betting opportunity. It has grown exponentially, with market leaders such as DraftKings, FanDuel, and Caesars Entertainment among its clients. I'm delighted to welcome Chief Operating Officer Mark Nerenberg and Vice President of Revenue and Trading Ryan Keur to ICE 365 Live to tell us more. And here they are in the studio with me. How are you both?
Doing great. Thanks for having us.
It's good to have you. You've just arrived into London yesterday. How's that?
Been great. Yeah, we were able to get our feet wet and enjoy getting this out of the way early while we still have our voice.
And were you with us last year? Did you come to ICE last year?
We were here last year, yeah. Not with you on the show, though.
No, it's a new feature this year. So tell us, micro-betting is a new concept for some people, and it feels as though the industry hasn't quite found a way to name it yet. So in your view, what's the best way to explain the concept?
Micro timeframes in play. Yeah, so it's not a new concept. We just viewed it as a new category that's specifically suited well for US sports. With the cadence and the way that fans engage with sports, we saw a huge opportunity for micro timeframes such as the next pitch or at bat in baseball, the next play or drive in NFL, possessions, next score in basketball, etc. I think with soccer, you don't quite have that type of cadence or that amount of scoring. Tennis is a good example globally, but really it's just betting on whether a player will win or lose a point. In the US, it's things like, will they stuff him on third down? Or will this guy strike out for the third time in a row? These are the types of opinions that fans already have and talk about, and what broadcasters predict and talk about. So we really just sort of saw it as this big category versus what it had been prior, more of a niche category.
Could you compare it to iGaming?
Yeah, I think there's a great comparison to iGaming. When you think about just the sheer number of markets that we're creating within small time frames, yeah, there is that kind of slot machine, playing blackjack sort of cadence that comes with these sort of markets.
Yeah. What you don't have with iGaming is an underlying entertainment that's already being engaged with the masses. So I think what micro betting can provide is reaching a whole new sports fan, like I said, that already talks and thinks about these things. So I think it can really bring in a whole new segment of users into the industry.
So Simplebet has obviously spotted this opportunity. And can you talk us through how your solution works?
Yeah, absolutely. So as Mark mentioned, we currently focus on 5 sports, so NFL, college football, Major League Baseball, NBA, and college basketball. And the way that it works is we've built out the market mechanics with working really closely with both Sportradar and BetGenius, who own the rights to each of those sports, to produce and turn every single game and every single moment into a betting opportunity. And so the life cycle of those markets are, a start, a stop, and then a result. And within sometimes 15, 20 seconds, you have a start of a pitch that is being thrown, then the actual result of that pitch, and within 20 seconds, the user was able to have that instant gratification. And so, yeah, we've been able to build out a lot of the underlying technology. And so when we think about Simplebet, it's a technology company that's pioneered on machine learning and automation, and that's now being converted into fan engagement and sports betting.
And what uptake have you seen from operators?
Well, in terms of, I would say DraftKings was our biggest large customer, and the uptake with their users has grown substantially both year over year and within the year. MLB is definitely the best sport, most conducive to micro betting. Towards the end of the year, we estimate that our volume was accounting for 35 to 40% of all of live betting GGR for our customers for DraftKings. In terms of operator uptake, Ryan, you might be able to speak to that, but we've signed some big names recently.
Yeah, getting live with a company like Bet365 globally, I think showed the magnitude of how we're able to scale this. And then most recently, an announcement with Caesars. So, securing another one of the big 4 or 5 operators here in the United States was a really big win for us. So I think you're starting to see this micro betting category become a must-have for operators. And yeah, we think, being fairly battle tested, taking $1 billion or so in bets has allowed us to become the premier operator when somebody's looking to provide a micro betting solution.
And what about bettors? Is it attracting a new customer base?
It definitely seems to be. I think it attracts a fairly casual user, one that doesn't have to sit around for 3 hours to see their bet get resulted. It allows you kind of the flexibility to come in and out. And I think we're seeing that with just the stickiness of the product. A median bet size is $5, and you typically are seeing anywhere between 6 to 10 bets per game, depending on the sport, from that user. So they're continuing to kind of get involved in the game in these different session lengths that attract a more casual user.
And when it comes to micro markets, what do you see the competition? Where is it coming from? And is it specialist suppliers like Simplebet or products developed in-house by operators?
It's a combination of all the above, right? I think everyone's kind of focused on their near-term and long-term product roadmaps. And so I think what we've started to see over the better part of the last year or two are operators who said, yes, we're going to offer our own micro betting product, and we can do this in-house. They started to iterate and realize how freaking hard it actually is to do this. We've spent the last 5 years really specializing and staying so laser focused on micros. I think we've started to see some operators that have come to us and hopefully want to iterate and learn by working with us. And I think we try and truly see every one of our partners as partners, and it's kind of a give and take in how we're operating.
Yeah. And some of the competition in our space, in the B2B space, are really focused on more than just micro markets, really all of in-play, which is our vision to get there. But what we've learned, and it took us a while to get this right, maybe even 2 years before we had a strong product, it requires focus. I think it's underrated, really, just to have a full team dedicated and focused to this one type of product. I think we're years ahead of the competition right now.
Well done for your dedication. And how important are these new forms of content to the US sports betting industry? Do you see it as an important point of differentiation?
I do. I mean, all of our operators are always striving for more content. I think the buzzwords that you always seem to hear are about personalization and discoverability. And so as we now have the markets out there, I think there's a specific focus that's going into the user experience and interface that can ultimately surface these sort of markets in their small time frames at the right time to the right users. And one thing that we're focused on with having such a machine learning and automation background and just understanding the way that data flows is building out some of this metadata or things that can be surfaced to users in real time that can ultimately contextualize and stimulate bet types.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned 35 to 40% of all live betting. That's for baseball, our best sport. That's already pretty substantial, right? Football is a little less than that, and basketball a little less than that. But we're just at the beginning here. There really hasn't been a lot of marketing. There's a lot that goes into planning and getting the right messages out there through the right channels for our operator customers. So with more marketing and focus on UX and discoverability, I think it's going to be the predominant way that punters engage with live betting. I don't know if that'll be this year, but sometime pretty soon.
And as you grow at scale, how do you create unique, bespoke solutions for each client to maintain that differentiation, even as micro-betting and Simplebet are adopted across the industry?
Incredible question, and one that we definitely get a lot is how do we ultimately iterate and differentiate on top of the product. And I think a lot of the focus that we're planning here in 2023 is allowing for more flexibility for our partners to truly be able to differentiate and build on top of the solutions that we've been able to build. So I think we built a really strong base layer that now allows for the flexibility of our operators to differentiate and take it to the next level.
Yeah, we have a long way to go there, but even already, now that we have a handful of customers, they're using our markets in different ways, prioritizing them differently, featuring them differently. So yeah, it's not just everyone gets the same product already, but there's a lot more that we can do to sort of enable our customers to come up with ideas of their own and differentiate.
And it feels very much a US product. That takes advantage of the play-by-play nature of US sports. Could it be adapted for European sports, like tennis, as you referenced earlier?
Yeah, tennis, there already exists a pretty solid micro-betting product across a lot of operators and suppliers. You can bet on the next point. I think when the live data, when there's a little bit more data points in the live data, there'll be some new cool things we could do with tennis. Golf is very interesting. Soccer is maybe tough, but I think we'll get there at some point. We're definitely, we have our US sports, and we're very serious about exploring more global sports and seeing if we can take what we've learned and apply our capabilities to the more global sports.
And what is Simplebet doing to grow and evolve its product base?
What was the question?
What is Simplebet doing to grow and evolve its product range?
Yeah, I mean, Simplebet as a whole, we're just continuing to add new engineering, new resources, new products. I think we do a lot of user segmenting and user testing to try and drive the ultimate experience. I think one thing that is lacking right now is the overall education around micros, and so we're spending a lot of time right now understanding that we're in the early stages of trying to educate the market about these sort of available markets that you can bet on. And as the education continues to catch up, you're going to start to see these generate more mainstream adoption.
So one thing that we did, a new product that we have with a company called Better, which is former founder of Simplebet, Joey Levy, has partnered with Jake Paul, the influencer. It's really a big media brand, and they're focused on in-play. So with them, we've built the entire app as well as not just APIs like our other customers use. So with that, I think we have a place where we can really move fast, prove and improve the product, and then leverage that to have more products like you mentioned, whether it's personalization or different components for like game tracking, where you can really kind of watch the game in real time through visualizations. So that was a big thing that we just launched that product for day one in Ohio. From start to finish, it was 7 months, which others have taken a lot longer. So we're pretty proud of how quickly we got that done. A lot of room for improvement on that product, but so far it's on the right track.
Fantastic. Thank you both for coming in to see us. What are you looking forward to seeing at the show?
seeing friends and partners in person is always like a great thing. So yeah, I'll enjoy getting to Fox's for a beer this afternoon. But in general, it's just always great to see kind of all the product improvements that are happening within the space, and even some of the competition that allows you to try and strive to be better. So yeah, I enjoy this for sure.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Former colleagues and different people that I've been working with for a while. It's always great to get in person, especially after COVID. I just don't take it for granted anymore to get some time in person these days instead of Zoom calls all the time.
Yeah, it's definitely better than Zoom, isn't it?
100%.
Yeah. Thank you both for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
So up next, we talk more betting 2.0, next-gen betting businesses, this time with OpenBet. Stay tuned.